Hello, and welcome back once again for another video on Marvel Snap. It has been a while since we've done another deck video, but today I'm excited. It's been so long. I have been trying to get a certain card for this deck for such a long time now, and we are finally going through a proper type Patriot deck. So with the first deck I kind of made this like Patriot, this because I love Patriots, so I've been trying to do all these, is kind of like a Swarm Patriot deck. So with this deck, as you can see, we have a lot of one-cost cards, a lot of cards that swarm, so stuff like Squirrel Girl and Mr. Sinister, cards that will summon stuff that has no effect. What's, again, really good against you playing a Patriot deck. And we also have Debris, who puts rocks everywhere on both your side and their side, which will be buffed with our Patriot. So with this deck, the main goal is to be able to get Wasp out pretty early, and to play Squirrel Girl if you can, and hopefully also Mr. Sinister. Now, when we do that, we also want to get Shocker out. Shocker's a very powerful card. And then we want to start playing into our buffers, so stuff like Patriot, into Kazar, into Blue Marvel. Now, depending on how we go draw-wise, we also have Mystique here to copy one of our other ongoing effects for this deck. Onslaught here to buff all of our ongoing effects. And we also have Ultron. Now, Ultron is another, finisher of a card. This is a card I was waiting for ages to get. Could not get my grubby little mitts on this boy. But, he will fill all your other, locations up with these drones. And these drones will get buffed by Patriot, will get buffed by Blue Marvel, and they'll get buffed by Kazar. What ends up being this massive finisher if you didn't get a really good chance to swarm, or you don't draw your Onslaught, or certain other cards. So that is... He's an insane card when played, in the correct way. Now, do I think he's the main part of this deck? No, I still think you're best off in dropping down your Onslaught, your Blue Marvel, your Kazar, and your Patriot into a certain lane, and just buffing everything else up. But he is very nice to just kind of have there to help do some damage. Now, I guess we should really get underway with the deck. I'm really excited to play this one and record this one for you all. So, yeah, let's get right into it. Okay, this isn't too bad. On reveal effects happen twice. I'm just trying to think, what card would we want to pop that with? Maybe even Debris here, just to kind of cluster them up a little bit. So we do have Shocker here on turn 2. Shocker is very good for us. So I do actually think we want to play Debris here. So we draw a 1 cost from our deck. Which one? What cost we get? Yeah, I still think we play Debris here. It's gonna cluster. It's gonna, cluster up a little bit as well. Well, it's gonna be quite nice. So we're gonna play lots of things. Getting hit with Scorpion is really bad. A double spot. We are still gonna play Patriot over here. Actually, we're gonna play Kazar first to buff all these rocks up. Alright, and we're going to now play Patriot over here to the left, into a Wasp over here in the middle, and a Misty Knight on the right. So you can see we're getting some pretty good swarm in here. Very unlucky to get hit with that Scorpion in a double reveal spot. That's actually hurt us quite a lot. Now they have the Blue Marvel, that's unfortunate for all the rocks and stuff. But I think here we are just going to want to drop down the Onslaught to buff everything else. Now, we would have loved to have had the Blue Marvel here, but I feel like just being able to drop this Onslaught here into the left lane should be enough to win us both the left lane with the amount of power Onslaught brings just himself, and to easily push that right lane beyond anything, because they're all getting Kazar buffed twice now and Patriot buffed twice. Now, hopefully, for our sake, he doesn't have, okay, he's playing a lot of stuff here. I was going to say, an Onslaught of his own. Okay, he's going to take us on the left lane. But we might be able to here keep middle, depending if he gets a buff on Sunspot. Okay, cool. We still won the game. Okay, it's a night. That was good.
Victory!
I was a bit worried there that if he hadn't spent all his mana, Sunspot was going to get another buff that was going to make it higher in Throne Room. But, no, that's good. So, as you can see here, with this approach being able to swarm, it can be quite powerful. And Onslaught here has given us way more than enough just to win these other 2 locations. Very good start to these games. Alright, not too bad of a hand. So, again, I'd rather again have a 1-drop in opening hand, but I do prefer to have Shocker over Mr. Sinister. So they might be playing MODOK here. So, MODOK coming out. I'm actually really excited to try MODOK out for everyone here. Like, I like the idea of MODOK quite a lot. So that's going to be fun. So yeah, we are just going to play Shocker into the raft. We want to get Shocker out as quick as possible. Awesome, because we don't really want to play into Vibranium. We are going to play Debris again. We're going to play Debris into the left lane. So what we're going to want to do after that is probably play Patriot or Kazar. Oh, we just lost Onslaught. Okay. That changes up a lot. So what we're going to do here is we are going to Patriot here into Squirrel Girl. Into a Kazar next turn into the left lane. Now the reason we're Squirrel going onto the left is we want to buff these other 2 lanes up with the Patriot buff. Okay, Gambit hopefully hits Squirrel Girl here. That's unfortunately one of the squirrels, but you know what? That's alright. So we'll play Kazar here into a Wasp on the right side. We don't really care as much now about like the Onslaught Blue Marble stuff into left lane. Not what I want to go with. It's been a bit unfortunate with what we've lost. Now we have got our Onslaught back. Now, so they have played MODOK here. Alright. So I think here it might be best for us to play Ultron here into the right lane to contest that Morbius buff. And with this, so I'm assuming here they're going to play on the left, but hope with the Patriot Kazar buff, we should have enough to take middle. Alright, they're playing Hela, I'm going to assume. Wait. Unless they dropped Hela right there at the end. Because again, they did just they just MODOK their whole hand. Swordmaster, yeah. So good, that's enough. Alright, that was the correct play. So yeah, like this deck is really good. Now I will say he was playing a very budget version of MODOK. Like there's a few decks I want to play at the moment. I actually have a few cards in my watch list to get because I want to try a MODOK deck for you all soon. Just to show you some things you can do with MODOK, some things I've even thought of, and probably other content creators as well. So yeah, but as you can see, this deck is still really strong, even with like new cards like MODOK coming out. So yeah, give this deck a go, it's really fun. Alright, what do we got here? Cloning that. Alright, so what we're going to do here is we're going to play Wasp in middle, Misty Knight over to the left. Now the reason we're playing Misty Knight to the left is if we don't get a free drop. So what do we got here in the middle? We've got, okay, cool. We're just going to play Shocker here into the middle. Now they're playing Zabu. They're going to drop another Zabu down next turn. That's kind of gross. Alright, so what we're going to do here is we're going to Mr. Sinister back into another Misty Knight onto the left. Because again, we can't play anything in Oscorp Tower, so we don't want to give him anything. Oh, they're mistaking. Okay, that's kind of scary. So what we're going to do now is we're going to Kazar everything over. So this should buff the Misty Knights. So what might happen here is, we're most likely going to Blue Marvel next turn. I can't see anything else we'll be doing. We've been pretty unlucky not to get Patriot or Onslaught. But hopefully what will happen like here is we will get Blue Marvel into Onslaught here and it'll be a big buff to everything. Now, if that doesn't happen, it's going to be a double Blue Marvel. And on final turn, another Misty Knight into the left lane. So a bit of unfortunate draws here. But I think we can still make this work. Again, we don't have any 1-drops in the middle. So Kazar is only really good for buffing up the cloning vat. Alright. He's dropped a Zabu there. That doesn't do anything. Alright, so again, we're going to Blue Marvel over here to the right. Is it worth Squirrel going instead of Misty Knight to get an extra stat over here, but for a little bit less stats here? I don't think it is. Yeah, I think it's better to have the stats over here to the left. Oh, we got an Onslaught. Okay, so now I feel like our plan changes here. I feel like we want an Onslaught. Because Onslaught's more power into this right lane anyway. Plus, it's giving us another Blue Marvel and another Khazar buff anyway. We'll end turn here. I actually feel that's a really strong play. It's better than I thought we were going to get. That's a good way to kind of end it off. Getting that Onslaught. I'll take that. I don't know how this feature location works. It's not a great featured location. I was playing this deck quite a lot in Onslaught Citadel. I just unfortunately did not get a chance to record that day to show this deck off. Would have loved to have done that for Onslaught Citadel. That would have been brilliant. Because if you can get something with like ongoing abilities working with this deck, you know, on like as a major feature location, you're gonna have so much fun. Like with this deck, you end up getting like 60 odd power in most locations. It's pretty fun. Not as much as the big boy deck, but I mean, it's still a lot of power. So it wouldn't shock me if this guy ends up retreating, but he's played a lot here. That is a lot. So this is where this gets a little bit scary. Okay, we've got enough power there. With enough power there, Warpath makes me don't have enough power there now. Strong Guy's gonna get the buff. Here we go, so the Zabu here. Just overtakes by 1 point. Fair enough. Fair enough, can't complain about that. I was a bit worried not getting Patriot. If we had Patriot there, we would have won. But again, it's just unfortunate, yeah, not to get Patriot. And even with that, not even drawing into our best kind of hands, we still managed to win that middle location by quite a bit, and only just lose the left and the right location, so... Yeah, honestly, I'm not even upset by that. That honestly shows that this deck can play quite well. And it's quite a powerful deck. Especially when you got a busted card here like Zabu, what, you know, really does kind of nerf. So, unless it's already got its nerf, it might have already got its nerf. But even so, like, you know, having Zabu... Mystique, Zabu again. Yeah, there's not a lot you're going to be able to do against that. But yeah, you know, still... I'm still happy with how this deck performed. Alright, opening straight up into Squirrel Girl. That's nice. Bit of flood coming in here, so... You can flood our side to get a few buffs in, hopefully if we draw out Khazar. Okay. That is a terrible location for most people. Luckily for us, we do have the Ultron. So yeah, we're just going to drop Misty Knight there. They are a movement deck. This might cause us... This is going to cause us problems. Alright, so... This is difficult. So I think what our game plan is going to be here is we are going to drop the debris here. Now this could be really stupid. Actually, it might be should drop debris. So what we got to really weigh up here. Am I going to draw something that's going to buff my cards up? Or am I best off just waiting to dump the Ultron? I think I'm best off waiting to dump the Ultron and hopefully getting like a Patriot. So Onslaught's not good enough, so we are just going to skip turn again. This is one of those weird ones, so I'm kind of intrigued to see how this plays out because, you know, if we don't get a buffer, Ultron will still win right lane. What's fine. So yeah, we should still win right lane. So we haven't actually drawn into anything. So now I'm going to not play Debris. I'm going to play Shocker here. Really hoping to get Khazar, Blue Marvel, Patriot, any of those. Now we are still winning the Spectrum. So it's going to be one of those weird kind of locations. I'm intrigued to see how this plays out, and honestly, like, you know, it's one of those ones where you wouldn't really see, you know, Death's Domain plus the Spectrum one. I don't know how it's going to work. Ah, it still works like that. Alright, so I'm actually still going to just play Ultron here. I don't think it's worth moving anything. Even if he moves stuff over there, he can't move anything in the Spectrum. And if he does decide to move everything into Death's Domain, yes, we will lose Death's Domain. But at the same time, we should stand win left with Ultron. So I'm kind of confident here we might win this. But then again, you know, it's one of those funky looking ones, you know. This is something that, you know, it's really hard to play around these types of locations. So, honestly, I'm quite intrigued. Like, you know, this is actually going to be pretty funny. I like to keep these types of games in when you get these weird locations and stuff. Just to see how these decks can perform, you know. Where you get a few bad draws, you have to kind of rely on certain things that happen. So he has moved everything over and he's played into the left. Alright. Yes, we do lose this one. But, you know, not too bad, no, honestly. Like, I'm not so upset about that. Oh, I'll take that loss there. That's... I think even he was a bit like, you know, not knowing what to do either, but very lucky, I guess, with his movement deck that it kind of works with the Death's Domain. But, you know, fair enough. We'll go into a final game. Okay, so we got X-Mansion here. We're going to play Squirrel Girl into middle. Here we go. And we're probably going to just dump Shocker into the middle here. Now let's see what this final location is. Alright, cool. Just going to play Patriot here now into the right lane. Start buffing everything up. Played armor. Thank you. I'll take an armor there. Let's see what card we add to our side. Item Zola. That's kind of garbage in all honesty. That's actually really bad. Alright, we're getting the Sneak here and get the Patriot buff off. Plus a Misty Knight into the left lane. Start buffing that left lane up now. He did get Beast though. Beast isn't too bad. Yeah, also we can just Kazahi into the right lane. Well, it's not too bad. Just Kazahi, buff everything up a little bit more. Hobgoblin. Well, he just not Patriot, Ultron here into the middle. I don't think he's got enough power to take us on here, because I think he's not going to have enough power to put 17 right with a rock there. Ultron here in middle should be sweet. There's no buffs anywhere, but that's cool, buddy. There we go.
Victory.
Yeah. I don't know what else to say. This deck is really good. When you get these more normalized locations and stuff where you can actually play your deck properly, you win games, alright? Honestly, you just win games. It's fun. It's great. We love to play it. So, yeah, that was heaps of fun playing this deck. And I'm going to probably make a bunch more Patriot type style decks. Patriot, like I've already made one Patriot style deck on the channel with the Silver Patriot a bit earlier on. But decks like this, like Patriot style decks, I just love the idea of being able to use cards you get early on in the game that are considered pretty much useless, like Misty Knight. You know, Misty Knight's considered a pretty bad card. Stuff like Shocker, what's not good. Cyclops, what's not in this deck. Even Wasp, what is a newer card, but, you know, isn't great. I know you can use it with Lockjaw stuff. But these, like, earlier style cards, even like Squirrel Girl, who's only really good in like Kazard, actually say, is decent with stuff like Patriot. I just love that idea. I think it is so much fun. So, yeah, I'm glad there's a card like Patriot who can empower these types of decks. But anyway, let's get off to talk a bit more about this deck. Alright, so here we are. So we had some really fun games with this deck. And when you play it, you usually kind of win stuff, let's be honest, alright? So yeah, we got that really funky kind of game with the weird locations. And we did get beaten by a Zabu deck. Well, it's fair enough. Zabu is an absolutely broken card, as I display on this channel how good Zabu actually is. Even with just beginner cards. But in general, this deck will help you climb. You will climb quite high up this deck. It's going to get you lots of wins. Now, some of the highlights of this deck, well, of course, it's Patriot. It's your boy right here. Absolute sexy man right here with that amazing smile he's got. Well, I don't know if you call it a smile, but, you know, beautiful boy. Other cards, Debris. Debris was really good for the games we used Debris in. Kazar, good as always. Blue Marble, amazing. Onslaught. That's Onslaught. Onslaught, amazing. So, also stuff like Ultron. Ultron showed that he can be very good. Even that last game we didn't actually summon off all the droids, just having that 8-power body is enough just to win a certain location, you know. Stuff like Misty Knight. Misty Knight was played pretty much every game, and the buffs that she gave was amazing. Shocker, always good. Wasp, amazing. The only card I guess I'd take out of this deck is probably Mr. Sinister, if you can find a better card. If you're playing a different type of Patriot deck, you're not going to run Mr. Sinister anyway. I don't think I even really played Mr. Sinister. I think I might have played him once. Because again, in my opinion, I feel like Mr. Sinister kind of seems a bit weak. So, yeah, I don't really like him as much as Shocker. I think Shocker is good. Even though this is a swarm-style deck and Shocker doesn't swarm, just because you're getting that buff out, you can put more bodies to get that buff. Compared to Mr. Sinister. I don't mind playing Mr. Sinister into a Death's Domain or into the Altar, what's really good. Because then you don't get this body that doesn't get any buffs, but you get to keep this body what does get all the buffs. What is nice. And Mystique's pretty good in this deck too, so Mystique is really good if you don't draw into other stuff, you can buff things. I know I used Mystique that last game, would help us get a good win. Anyway, that'll do it for this video. If you do enjoy my deck style content, please feel free to like and subscribe to the channel. We do other stuff that isn't Marvel Snap related, but we are mainly a Marvel Snap channel at the moment. We love playing Marvel Snap, we love doing these deck guides, and with the Versus mode or the Battle mode just being added in, there's going to be lots of content with that as well, just having funny moments, having fun games. So if you're intrigued in seeing that, seeing us have a bit of a laugh with me and a few of the boys, stick around because it's going to be around. Anyway, without that, thanks for watching, and I hope to see you all in the next one.